Hey traders, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a midday market update. In today's video, we're going to discuss another merger and acquisition rumor that's floating around. So we'll jump into that in just a second, but rumor has it that Canopy Growth is potentially in talks with Village Farms for a potential buyout. So again, we'll jump into that here in just a second, but before we jump into today's content, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. So doing my update a little earlier today, so there won't be an aftermarket video after close today. Today's a shortened day, so the markets will be closed at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So hope everyone has a awesome day and weekend and relaxing holidays, and make sure to take time to yourself and just enjoy the break. So I know I, for one, am going to be enjoying the time off. So without further ado, we'll jump right into it. So there's a few news and events, but the main topic today, we're going to discuss Raymond James essentially alluding to the fact that Canopy Growth may be buying Village Farms, so VFF. So if you're wondering why VFF is up so much in the last day or two, that's likely why. And it was also halted due to circuit breaker on volume, it looks like. So we'll see. Again, this is just a rumor. This isn't to spread FUD or pumping anything. This is just to tell you guys what I know. The rumor is floating, it's out there, so we need to see confirmation from both the companies before we can, so we're just speculating at this point. So before going, taking a position, remember that you're buying a rumor and nothing has been confirmed yet. So just take everything that you hear with a grain of salt, but be on the lookout for a potential deal. That's the long and short of it. So taking a look at the news and events for today, GOP blocks House Democrats' attempt to pass 2,000 stimulus checks. And this comes after Trump threatened to oppose more than $2 trillion and federal funding bill because it included 600 checks to most Americans rather than 2,000. So we'll see if there's any update on that, but it looks like they're going to be breaking and talks will resume next week. We also saw that the UK and the EU strike historic post-Brexit trade deal, and that was ahead of the December 31st deadline. We also saw that Robinhood Financial was hit with a class action lawsuit for selling stock orders. So essentially, they were sued in proposed class action for allegedly failing to inform clients it was selling their stock orders to trading firms and effectively charging backdoor commission fees. So definitely a negative, headline for Robinhood. We'll see if there's any additional scrutiny, but they've been getting a lot of negative headlines and complaints and just overall, investigation from the SEC. So we'll continue to see if there's any more development on that, but certainly not looking good for Robinhood and their reputation. So we also saw that Canopy Growth sued GW Pharma, claiming patent infringement. And again, we didn't have any news articles confirming that Raymond James is saying that Canopy is in talks to buy VFF. So we haven't seen anything confirmation, anything official yet from any reputable sources. So again, we're just going to take it with a grain of salt for now, but be on the lookout for the possibility of a deal between those two. So we'll jump into the VFF chart here. We had massive volume to start the day. We sold off in the beginning of the morning, and we had a 5-minute RSI was pretty crushed. We had a 5-minute oversold bounce into a 5-minute bull flag. And then take a look at that volume. That's right essentially when this news broke that Raymond James essentially said that Canopy may be in talks with VFF. And again, the rumors just floating around on the internet at this point. Again, we don't know if it's true, but based on this volume and the run that it has had on the last couple of days, it certainly wouldn't be surprising if we did see Canopy come out with something official. But as you can see, in the last couple of days, we're up over 25% from the low of yesterday. So we bounced off EMA 12 today on that pullback and the low of $10.38. So nice buy of EMA 12 support there for the bulls that were able to get in today. So taking a look at the hourly, again, huge volume. and we're seeing a hourly uptrend forming. We're seeing a hourly higher low looking to be established here. We did break to a higher high, so it does look like that new higher low is established, but we need to zoom into the 5-minute trend here just to be confident. So we are in a 5-minute uptrend now, scouting a 5-minute higher low. Could be a potential descending triangle here on the 5-minute. So all about EMA 12 here. If we can hold that, bulls are in good shape here. But essentially just looking for a 5-minute higher low. And taking a look at VFF on the weekly. So we're well above the 10-week moving average. The stochastic was crossed bearish, but it's looking to turn bullish here. We'll see if we can get some follow through into the end of the day. MACD is extremely bullish. Taking a look at the weekly moving averages on VFF, we have the 50 starting to curl here, the 50 weekly moving average, looking to potentially cross through the 200 weekly moving average. So that would be a very bullish sign. But we are above all three averages. So very, very strong on the weekly moving averages. On the daily moving averages, you can see we're well above the 50, the 100, and the 200. We had a golden cross back here in July and didn't really see much follow through just until the last couple of months. So that's where we stand in terms of VFF. We also had a daily trend change yesterday. So just if we leave the rumor and the fundamentals out of it, the technicals were telling us a very bullish story. So you can see here at the low of $9.10, we bounced to a high of 1041. We established a new higher low at 950. And once we broke that 1041 resistance, that's when we changed the daily trend. And that confirmed that the weekly higher low was set. And you can see here, it was a weekly bull flag that was confirming as well. And we have massive volume. So yesterday when we saw that volume, that uptick in volume and that massive volume that came in, that gave us confidence that the move was for real. And once we broke resistance of 1159, that confirmed the weekly bull flag. So just in terms of pure technicals, VFF was extremely, extremely strong. So if you did buy on that weekly higher low, congratulations, congrats to the bulls there. We had declining bear volume here as well. So that weekly bull flag was absolutely textbook. So that's where we stand. Again, we're in an hourly uptrend. As long as we maintain this hourly uptrend, bulls are in full control, and we still haven't started daily consolidation to this point. So I wanted to get that out of the way here first for you folks, but CGC currently down a little over 2.5% on the day. We had a 15-minute EQ yesterday that we were watching. We broke out of it bull, but essentially pulling back here now. Just looking for an hourly higher low, it looks like. Still no signs of it yet. So we'll zoom into the 5-minute chart. Once we change the 5-minute trend back to the bulls, then we can be confident that the hourly higher low is set. But you can see here, we're looking to form a higher low compared to 26.15. And if we can break above 26.45, that will be a 5-minute trend change. So that's where we stand. CGC, again, on the weekly time frame, it could be a weekly bull flag as well. So CGC bulls are hoping to follow in VFF's footsteps, and hopefully that can be a sign that potential CGC has the potential to do the same. But on the daily time frame, we essentially had a double bottom here at $25, and we broke to a higher high. So it looks like you could technically say that we're in an uptrend. We didn't really form enough of a pivot point here, in my opinion. So I'd like to see another higher low into a higher high to be absolutely confident. But if you wanted to say that that was a trend change, then I wouldn't necessarily argue with you. But things are looking good in terms of the weekly time frame. There's no major red flags at this point. We still have EMA 12 there as support as well. And just taking a look at CGC on the weekly, usually it's more bullish for the company getting acquired. So if CGC were to come out with the confirmation that they are buying VFF, then again, we would see CGC likely in the red, and VFF would be up. Well, at this point, it might be a sell the news event given how much it has run in the last couple of days, up about 25%. But CGC still above the 10-week moving average. The stochastic is cross bearish. The MACD is bullish, but it could be potentially crossing bearish here as well. Taking a look at the weekly moving averages, we are below the 100 weekly moving average at 25.96. So actually, we're currently at 26.25. So we are above the 100 weekly moving average, but we need to close above 25.96 to remain bullish. So if we can close above 25.96 by the end of the day today, that will be extremely bullish. But we're above all of those weekly moving averages, and on the daily time frame as well, we're above the 50, 100, and the 200 DMA. MACD is bearish, but it's looking to potentially cross at some point here in the near future. So we'll see if we can potentially bounce off the 50-day moving average. Maybe we need to break down and test that 50-day moving average before resuming higher, but certainly wouldn't be surprising if we did test that 50 DMA, because like I said, if this rumor does get confirmed and CGC actually does buy VFF, that's likely going to be negative in the short term for CGC. And like I said, we could test that 50 DMA. So don't be surprised if we do get there. So like I said, I did want to go over the VFF and CGC charts first. So we'll do a quick review of the crypto space. So again, crypto seeing a sell-off at the moment, likely due to the overhang of the SEC investigation with Ripple. Ripple hit a low of about 21 cents and bounced about 30%, I believe it was. So we hit a high of 30 cents. So congrats to the dip buyers there. That was a huge, huge move in a very short time. But we are breaking down a little bit here now as well. And Bitcoin seeing a pullback, so likely adding fuel to the fire, so to speak. But we'll take a look at the daily time frame here. We do have a daily inside bar, so a tightening range on Bitcoin. Whichever way that breaks today, we should expect that direction. So if we break bullish, we'll look up to the potential of all-time highs. And if we break bearish, we'll look down here to support at 21,913. We also have EMA 12 at 22,229. So we'll see if we do get a bear break, if bulls can hold EMA 12. But all about the daily inside bar and tightening range. Keep in mind that we are going into a holiday, so volume likely will drop off. We'll just continue to check back here into the end of the day, but like I said, not expecting much activity or volatility going into the end of the week here. Taking a look at SPY, so the overall broader market, again, volume dropping off. We have a daily inside bar, tightening range. We are looking to hold EMA 12 here, so as long as we can close above 367.80, that's bullish in my opinion on the daily chart. But essentially all about the inside bar and not expecting much activity going into the end of the day here. So we'll go through these a little bit quickly here. DXY, inside bar on watch as well, support at 90.50. So far it was a double bottom. So a couple of inside bars there on the dollar index, DXY. So lots of inside bars on watch. IWM, just barely red here on the day. But looks like we did set a new all-time high. And SMH, the semiconductors, up over 0.5% today. We have QQQ up 0.25%. So again, daily inside bar on watch, multiple daily inside bars. We also have EMA 12 there as well. So we'll look to see which way that breaks for direction. Oil down about 0.5%, and silver up almost 1%, and gold up about 0.25% as well. XBI red on the day, but slightly. Home builders ETF up almost 1%. XLE, the energy sector, down a little over 0.5%. XLF just barely red on the day, and XLV little bit green here, about 0.25% green on the day. So again, not really much going on, lots of inside bars and tightening ranges. Apple saw a huge run into the morning here and starting to pull back. We are in a 5-minute downtrend, sorry, a 2-minute downtrend, and 5-minute would be a downtrend as well. You can see here that we had a lower high into a lower low. So we are in a 5-minute downtrend. Keep an eye out for a potential 5-minute head and shoulders as well, with this being the right shoulder and the neckline right about here and the head, and we could potentially form a right shoulder. So keeping an eye out for 5-minute head and shoulders on Apple. Let's take a look at the bear list. So BABA had some news today and more regulatory oversight, and basically Jack Ma's monopoly being crushed and stock getting crushed as down over 15%, so getting crushed as well. So BABA, JMIA, and NKLA leading the decline. I did a video on NKLA yesterday. You can check that out, but essentially they had 2,500 vehicles that were ordered that were canceled, and that was from the waste company. So obviously still hurting the stock. So you can check that video out for some more detailed analysis on NKLA. Tesla up about 2.5% today. Shop, CDAY, so CDAY, which is Ceridian, and Apple leading the bull list today. Docu also up about 1%. So not really much to report today. Everything just slightly green for the most part, but pretty much a mixed bag here. And like I said, just expecting volume to drop off here into the end of the day. So let's just take a quick look at the Canadian cannabis sector. SNDL's down 6%, APHA, ACV, Tilray leading the decline. On the bull list, we have TGOD, VFF, RIV, up almost 5%. So CGC still pulling back here in a 5-minute downtrend. Let's take a quick peek at VFF. So still scouting that 5-minute higher low compared to the mini higher low down here at 1090. We do have EMA 12 potentially crossing through EMA 26 as well. So seems like the hype has essentially left the building for the most part. And we'll see, like I said, if we get any confirmation of this. And at this point, everything is just a rumor. We did have Canadian MJ a little weaker today compared to US MJ, but you can see here CXXI is down a little over 4%, Acreage about 5%, Ian leading the decline. And on the bull list, we have TAUG, BAM, NBEV. So we're seeing, like I said, a little bit of a mixed bag here across the board. But for the most part, everything is mostly up today in terms of US MJ. So keeping an eye on VFF here, still breaking to newer lower lows, and we're just, like I said, scouting that 5-minute higher low. But we'll continue to check back in. We'll see if there's any validity to this deal and to these rumors. There's a lot of rumors going on about M&A activity, especially in the cannabis space lately. So should be an interesting end to the year. And who knows, maybe we'll get the information before the end of the day today. If not, we'll continue to check back. I'll do an update video for you guys later on next week as well. And just keep in mind that the markets are closed today at 1 p.m. Eastern. And so in about an hour and 45 minutes, and markets are closed tomorrow. And on Monday, the Canadian market is closed, but the US market is open. So, like I said, expecting things to just kind of drop off and volume to slowly dwindle. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have for you folks today. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a midday market update. And we'll see you next week. Again, happy holidays and enjoy the downtime.